last time out, and then 165 as we get set. Andy Garr. Andy Garr, little quick tempo right out of the gate. Garr, locked up, diving forward.
Garr having good pressure right out of the gate. Keeping Bucknell on his toes and keeping him to the edge of the circle.
So it will not be Noah Mulvaney, it'll be Dylan McCullough, who wrestled last time out. Noah Mulvaney, who had practiced before on the mat, he's in street clothes, so he is not wrestling for Bucknell. The freshman who was ranked number 12 by Intermat, somebody who would really contend for that All-American status, he's getting a breather today, getting a rest. And Garr against McCullough.
Garr doing a good job of diving down to that leg off of that underhook. And has now gotten to the legs and is going to get no takedown just yet. Now they award 3. Now Garr looks to almost punch that hand out from underneath him, pulling that hand back down of McCullough. And the experience different as well. McCullough, the freshman of Clarksville, Maryland, he was pinned by Navy's Andrew Garr last night. Only has a 2-9 record on the season in his first year, and he's kind of been wrestling in those open tournaments and a little bit at 165 as he gets a 1-point escape, 3-1 lead for Andy Garr. And Andy is a seasoned vet. He's been around for a while. He's a senior here, looking to finish his degree. He's also a C's student, so he's an engineering student. Very smart kid. And now he's back in on that underhook, and he throws a bye to that single. And this is the trickiest position you can be in when it comes to finishing that shot, but he does. He does
the 3-point takedown, 6-1 advantage for Garr, the senior, really controlling this bout at 165.
And he's riding him out, trying to keep his toe inside, but he gets drawn out. And you can hear the Columbia bench asking for a stall call on Bucknell.
33 seconds of riding time in favor of the Lions with 1:10 to go in the first. McCullough on the bottom, Garr on top. Garr, McCullough flips around, almost a little bit of a somersault, but Garr still controlling around the waist. McCullough trying to steady himself, but Garr able to just adjust accordingly, his grip on those underarms. McCullough trying to spin away, and Garr right there able to meet him, and now McCullough does, now in the pogo, Garr still working on him. Now sweeps leg, gets around on top.
Stands up on that leg and dives in between the legs, and that is a pretty popular scramble position for these wrestlers. And McCullough is now trying to stand up, but he gets blown dead. And a lot of funky scramble positions right off the whistle for McCullough on bottom, trying a Grammy roll and then diving right back underneath once Garr lifts up that leg. And Andy pretty diligent on keeping good control over him.
And Andy again on the top again, McCullough on the bottom, 40 seconds to go in the second period.
And he goes straight over that arm, chops it into a 2-on-1. And now it looks like he's trying to dig his leg underneath for maybe a leg ride. Having good wrist control here is really key. And Andy scoops up McCullough's right leg, is lifting it up. Looks like he's got those wrists rolled over McCullough's body.
Yeah, he's anchoring on that right leg too. Garr really controlling McCullough. McCullough just struggling to get up at all, and riding time over 90 seconds too. So really good top control from Garr as the first period comes to a close.
Good showing by Andy Garr. McCullough is trying to hold on that bottom position. Looks like he might have more luck standing. But now Andy's going to go bottom, try to get his 1-point escape. And McCullough, let's see what he can do on top. Maybe he can find some riding points or at least tick down that riding time clock. But Andy kind of scrambles and is able to get to a leg, and now he brings him up and over.
Yeah, he was able to break free. 1 point for Garr, 7-1 advantage.
Now Garr in on an underhook and pressuring McCullough to the edge. And everybody's calling for a stall call on McCullough for not wrestling back inside, and Andy's gonna have a go-behind attack.
He gets the takedown as well, 10-1 advantage for Garr.
And he's gonna cut him. And a lot of the times with these guys, they're gonna take you down and then try to cut you, or the second you try to reattack and force you into a bad shot. So that's kind of what we saw here on the edge. Garr getting a good underhook and getting good pressure on the edge, forcing McCullough to wrestle back into him. And it looks like he got a little flustered and took a bad shot, and that's how he gave up that three-point attack, or that three-point go-behind.
McCullough. Officials just adjusting the time in the score clock. Minute 24 to go. 10-1 advantage for Garr. He's on top, McCullough on the bottom here in the second period. Columbia leads the overall team score by 7.
Andy back in that underhook, drops his level for a beautiful double, and now gets his three-point attack.
That was a thunderous takedown from Garr, able to really control McCullough, bring him onto the mat. But McCullough gets a one-point escape, 13-3. It's a 10-point advantage for Andy Garr.
Garr not giving up any pressure here on the edge. Continues to push him to the edge, and now is in that front headlock position, looking to put his head in the hole, maybe circle behind, keep him on the inside, and he's gonna get 3 points for that again. This is a dominant performance by Andy Garr. McCullough still on the edge, and they're gonna give a one-point escape, and now Andy looking for another three-point attack, and they're gonna give it to him. 19-4, and Andy is fired up.
Yeah, he is fired up. He is really excited. The Columbia corner all on their feet. Andy Garr solidifying Columbia their first home dual win of the season, their first dual win since December the 10th against Northern Iowa. They take down Bucknell 25-13 with wins at 1-7.